You have a business, no?
Wala pa po.
You have a business?
Nagpo-funds. Pero hindi sa akin, sa kapatid ko.
Okay. How about you, Oscar?
Wala po.
No business? If you're ever gonna have a business, whatever you're gonna have, do you have any idea?
Sa ngayon po kasi I'm working on the DOSC project. Tapos
cool.
inaano po namin siya. Nilalakad namin sa
Anong
startup
project siya, DOST?
Traffic simulator.
Wait,
Yung
yan
ginagawa ko.
That's a good idea.
So yun. May mga ginagawa na po kami sa mga work namin.
Ay, cool, cool. Ikaw,
Gusto ko i-expand yung sa kapatid ko. Printing kasi siya. No?
printing firm, printing company.
Small business. Printing invitations, t-shirts, gano'n.
Ay, cool. And ikaw, Oscar?
I work for TongTong.
TongTong? What's a TongTong?
Mapping company.
Huh?
Mapping company, sir.
Mapping company. Ay, para siya
Here Maps.
Here! So, kilala mo si Tristan?
Yung project manager nila lang na meet ko. Kasi may user conference ko.
Okay.
Tapos nabasa ko yung article about here na may tayo.
Yeah.
Alright, baka pwede rin ako.
Cool. May isa sa mountain peak. Pero sila very, ang tawag ito, they do climbs more. Yun ang
Naghanap kasi kami, naghanap kami ng mga kung mga competitor namin sila, tapos mga naghanap kami ng mga trails, mga
Yeah, pero wala na kaming tie-up ngayon with tapos na.
Anong ginawa ko?
Since we travel to other places kasi we are not normally pinupuntahan. So, may pinili na, how do you call that?
Contract.
Hindi, ang tawag doon sa,
Camera.
hindi siya it's like a camera but it's a very rugged camera.
GPS.
It maps it. Literal. Tapos pag binagay mo yung data sa kanila, may data points dun sa pumapasok. So, GPS. Ikaw, business? May business ka?
May business. Wala po for now. Pero
Wala pa?
yung family ko namin medyo food business.
Food? Wow, sarap yan.
May catering service po yung isang sa relatives po na. Nahilig din po talaga yung family.
Cooking. Ikaw, Jer?
Well, may mga office mate ako, nagpa-plan kami ng education. Online siya, education site. Kaya sobrang dami na kasi. So, parang we're planning to penetrate yung local lang. Paano mapabilis yung education dito through
Like online education, like free education or for high school or college?
Ano siya, halo-halo. Parang
You should
learning management.
you want ideas? My mom used to when they're in the States. Sorry, nagina na ako, nagsimula na ako.
Sige lang po.
But what they do is, actually it's part of ExPh Philippines. It's going to be part of the whole program. But it's, ginawa nila there is, in New York kasi, there's a lot of, mga parang kagaya niyo, yung mga specializations. Like probably you specialize in, I don't know, in mathematical equations when it comes to math. Or when mapping or something, or food business or packaging and all that stuff. So there are courses that are being taught in independent areas. Parang bahay lang, mga ganito. Ang ginawa ng company na yun, hinanap nila isa-isa. Tapos nilagay nila lahat sa platform. So hindi ka, ang ginagastos, basically ikaw, you're actually spending you're just spending for the platform marketing. Sila yung whoever they are, sila yung course teachers. But sa kanila negosyo na yun. So you just get a percentage of whatever. They enroll in your platform and then you just give them what he needs to be paid and then you get a percentage of that. Works pretty well in the States.
Ano?
Ang dami yan. Ang daming klase na grabe. As in lahat ng klase na pwede mo from mushroom farming to sausage making to lahat ng very very anyone that you want to learn like wine and stuff like that. It's the idea talaga is really always go you check out your biggest asset would be your mobile phone. That's your biggest asset when it comes to coming up with new businesses, especially you guys are perhaps when you run your own business in the future. Dude, I talk a lot. I have ADHD. I'm just gonna make a disclaimer here. Huwag tagalin nyo na edit out. But I have ADHD. I'm diagnosed with ADHD. So I tend to jump from one topic to the other. So it's very difficult for me to stay put. But that's why the business is really good for me because I found something that I really like, so which helps me hyper focus on just one thing. So that's the advantage of being ADHD naman because you're just obsessed with just one thing. Yeah.
Mali, taga saan kayo, sir? Saan po kayo nag-aral?
I studied in New Zealand, so I came back here maybe 4 or 5 years ago. 5 years ago.
Ano pong course nila?
I did film.
Film.
Layo.
Yun laging kinuha ko. I did film, pero it was like a yeah, I liked it because I really went there because I really wanted to learn filmmaking and post production and everything else because I that was what I really wanted. But the thing is, but you start living there and you see the life of people and then you start realizing sa Philippines madami pa lang. Hindi, madami kang wala akong masyadong nakalalang Pinoy, but madami akong na-encounter yung mga kaibigan ko doon, yung mga barkada ko doon. Nahiya talaga ako sa kanila because they all came there to study. But they all want to study because they want to go back to their home countries so they can transfer whatever they learned back to their home countries. So ako parang, shit, taon ako doon. I mean, I was really like, oh yeah, I think that was like one of those moments na parang I'm doing things for myself and not for my home country. So I decided to come back. And then, but I didn't build Experience Philippines when I came back. I started out few years later, 1 year later, because I wanted to work. I came here without anything. So one of he's like my foster parent. So but he offered me a job with this company. So dun start mo na ako dun, earning enough, and then sa nagsimula. But it was more of an idea and a project rather than me and my friends were having coffee one time, and you know, it'd be cool because it's very difficult to meet Filipinos or get to
So ito yung motivation mo, sir, dun sa pagtayo ng experience.
parang gumawa ko ang ginawa ko kasi sa kanya is more of gusto niya i-record na lang para
Sige, nire-record ko.
ni-record na.
Nakarecord naman.
Hindi ba pati audio rin.
Ako.
Well, me and my friends these are not Filipino friends of mine. So when Chris was here, one of my good friends from the States, they were having coffee and you know what, if we do something that would bring people out of their comfort zone? Because nga, I came here without, parang hirap makipagkaibigan because nga iba yung mindset. Pinoys are very, generally are very conservative and very, very cliquish, I think, I would say, mga Pinoy. They don't really want to go out of ang kinasanayan. Hindi sila sanay na mag-reach out or magsalita or like, I'm sure you guys probably would have had that experience na when you go on a party, it's not easy for you to go talk to someone. I think generally, parang lakas ng malakas ang arrive naman ng tao nito pag nilapit mo agad, diba? So I think generally that's how Filipinos are. And I was feeling like parang hirap na makipag-communicate. So what if there are the people who want to meet other people, but in an environment where they have no idea what it's all about? So then we came up with the concept about the random road trips. So the random road trips, basically the idea is that you go with random strangers, you put them all together, and they have no idea what the itinerary is. They have no idea where to go, they have no idea what they're going to be doing. And you just lump them all up in a vehicle and let's see how it goes. And so far it works. I mean, that's why we have Experience Philippines, because there are people in the Filipinos who are actually looking for very opportunities where they can actually go out of themselves and meet other people in an environment where they cannot be, there's no judgment. Meaning, kasi wala tayong basis, hindi kita kilala eh. So hindi ko alam background mo, hindi ko alam ano yun. So hindi kita alam mayaman ka. Kasi the moment, for example, in many cases, pag nalaman mo anak siya ng Ayala, your impression automatically changes. So that also affects the way you have a relationship with someone. Or nalaman mo naman taga yung tatay niya taga lako ng yero sa mga kalye. Your also reaction is also changes. You're not gonna invite the person to go on a party because alam mo hindi siya makaka-afford. Meaning ginudge mo na agad yung ginawa mo na agad yung tao. Another one is being part of the LGBT community. So there are certain things. So what if we didn't know all of that? If there's no factor that actually told you about that? Ang nakakaalam lang nila sa organized it. how would you react? How would you do things? So it's really more of a study for me at the time. Parang, how would you? And it worked. In fact, it didn't become really like snowballing. It was such a novel idea for a lot of people that they joined because nga wala nga basis. And then we created different kinds of trips already. We have the random road trips specifically for adventurous people, and then we had singles road trip. The ones who will join. Hindi siya, everyone thinks it's like a dating road trip, but it's not. It's actually the road trips ngayon, yung single road trip ended up becoming more of a broken-hearted road trip. Kasi nga madami sumasali na iniwan ng jowa, iniwan ng asawa, or mga ganyan, or nakapag-break lang, kakasal na, tapos iniwan sa aisle, mga ganyan type. Then we had also LGBT road trips, the random outings specifically for the LGBT community, because wala ring for the gay people or for the lesbians or transsexuals or whatever, they don't have a place where they can just be themselves without being discriminated. They can travel without being judged. I mean, kahit na UP still, people in UP still judge. Kahit saan nila may judgment talaga nangyayari. So in our case, we avoid that. I have people who joined our LGBT road trips. Many of them, and some of them holds high positions in companies, or they own their own companies, they're CEOs. But they're not stereotyped gays. They're not sila maarte, hindi sila magito. They're just normal guys who talk like normal guys as well. But they just prefer having relationships with other guys. So then for them, kasi what's a kind of private thing. So they can be themselves. They can just joke about things, and no one's gonna be judging them and stuff.
Ano yung business model mo dito sa itong PH?
Sige, isa-isa natin kasi madaldal na ako, madami na akong masasabi. Anong gusto niyong umpisahan natin?
Actually, nakapag-umpisa na tayo.
Oo nga.
Nakagitna na tayo.
Oo nga yan.
Sige, simulan na naman sa profile.
Sige, parang ano yan. Parang ano ba ito? Kailangan ko hi. My name is Gian. Giliagos. Actually, it's like, I'm male, obviously. 32, I'm single. Okay, I did educational background. Yeah, I did go to high school. I did go to college, but I went to New Zealand for that. So professional background. I've worked for my family business for a while. We own a hospital.
Saan pong hospital?
Pampanga.
Oh.
And then maybe I was never really a good employee. I mean, honestly, I was never, even working with our business. I was at the young age, I was already handling around 19. That's where I already handling around 500 people. They were all under me, from administration, nurses, and all that stuff. But so in terms of dealing with corporate stuff, I'm pretty familiar with it. But it wasn't. I liked it because I wanted to help the family lang. But after that, I left for New Zealand. No? Profile of business. I mean, this company. So we're SEC. So we're a corporation. We just got incorporated July of 2016. We're a service-oriented business. We don't have products. Okay. Our primary market are female, 21 to 35 years old.
21 to 35.
So that's around 70% of 70% of the market of Experience Philippines are predominantly women. Okay. And then so we're 30%, 30% or 30% would be men, but so we're mga 20% of that are probably with the LGBT community, and 10% are men. Men generally, in my opinion, from our road trip, at least you take off is men are generally scared. Men are not adventurous and risk takers. In the Philippine scenario, men are more, when it comes to the travel landscape, hindi ang lalaki hindi adventurous.
Paano yung paano mo sinisecure yung security ng mga nag-aano sa'yo, na sumasama sa road trip? Paano nila
Garen, para
kaya yung nagmamanage ng security nila?
Are you talking about security, meaning they're going to be safe when they travel? Kasi one, it's like safety is a very, very, it's very malalim na term kasi there are many things you cannot control whenever you're in any environment. Although what we do is before they leave, there's always a waiver that they have to sign because it's always we're very adventurous whenever we go. Second, we don't go to popular destinations.
Yeah.
So we always go to destinations that are not really normal, that are not under the radar most of the time. Reason being because we are actually, as a company itself, the reason why, going back to the why of the business, is because I really want to help the local communities. Instead of giving the money to mga big resorts, giving the money to mga established businesses, you give it to si Mang Juan or si Ate Aling Nita dyan, who has a karinderya, who has a homestay, who has a boat, who has a tricycle, who has a jeep. Bigyan mo sa kanila ang hapon. Diretso na sa kanila, hindi mo dumadaan sa kung saan pa.
May mga tie-up kayo sa government.
So we do have linkages with that's critical.
DOT.
Yeah, well, DOT sometimes, yes, of course, part na yan, but it's a local government, local tourism.
Local tourism, not yung national.
No, hindi don't. Hirap din.
Mahirap
Wala. At saka there's so many. The national government cannot deal with so many of the travel agencies independently or individually. So you deal with stretch na. Just go straight. There's no rule that you cannot go straight to them anyway. So
Go straight sa local LGUs.
LGUs, yes. You deal with them. You talk to them because they need help. They know exactly what they, where you can go, what you can do. Establish a very good relationship with them. I think that's one of our forte. I would say.
May mga contacts naman kayo sa anywhere like paano yung planning nyo kung nagtrabaho?
Sometimes we just go there without any plan. Like many of the times we just go there and let's discover it ourselves.
No.
It's part of the whole anyway. That's the reason why you join. It's really you're there. Because again, I want to break the idea that you always have to have an itinerary. Remember, if I ask all of you guys the same question, you probably have a different answer, but more or less in the same aspect. The thing that you remember most whenever you go out of town, it's not really the destination. It's actually yung feelings. The feeling that you had with going to that destination. Yung pumunta ka ng Boracay, nagpub-crawl ka. Hindi mo natatandaan yung Boracay dahil sa, ang ganda ng sunset ng Boracay, ang ganda ng white sun. Matatandaan mo siya, yeah, but hindi siya yung stick sa mind mo, that's like, low priority. Pero tatandaan mo, nakilala ko ang gwapo na nakilala ko doon, na foreigner, ganyan. Or ang ganda na nakilala. Tapos nakalasing ako, I made new friends there. You remember all of those. And those are experiences. Those are emotions. Those are the things that you remember. In our trips, that's exactly how it's done. Because what if you remove your plan, how would people react? And like your case, kasi you guys are gonna be entrepreneurs. When you become an entrepreneur, or when you start doing your own business, when you start a business like that, you're jumping on something that you have no idea. You think you have plans, you have all the set ideas, but it's not gonna happen. It's a good plan, but when you jump into it, other factors come in. Things that you didn't expect will come in. So you will have to learn how to go through the motion of things. These things that you know, turns out na pala, alam mo, ganito lang pala. Alam mo na siya. Like for example, siguro sa food. In food, yung life cycle ng pagkain is not that. Hindi siya ganun katagal. I mean, it spoils. So what happens pag hindi umabot na itong oras? What do? You throw the food away? Or how do you preserve food? And there's so many factors that come in.
Putting up this business, sir,
Curious ako dun. So, kunwari may mga bookings. Paano yung algorithm na? May system ba kayo? Pre-filled template na mag-figure out ng destination ng mga group?
Okay, actually, if you read, I'll send you an article which we was written about us 2 years ago by Business World, which is actually posted there. That was so funny because the article was, how do you choose a destination? We just really did the data. You just throw a dart.
Talaga?
It's just really random because personally, when I started out, I just wanted to go to places I haven't been. So actually, I'm doing it in a way. I'm doing the Project 81 provinces. Already have gone through the 70 provinces. Already, I just need 11 more to complete it, which is kulang na lang is the Mindanao area. Well, it's really just to discover all those provinces and figure out what you can do in those places without relying on what is written, what is posted, whatever. You just go there. Or you can ask local tourism. I think the best talaga is really, really, you ask local tourism about it. Although sa local tourism, may levels of levels of intimacy kayo dyan.
Correct.
Mm.
Galing nga kasi nakarating sila doon sa amin Dulo, Santa Ana.
Yeah, we've been to Calayan already and in
Galing
Tumigil.
nga Nag-whale watching kayo doon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Swerte namin to because there were groups there who were waiting for the whales. Mga 1 week na, nagbayad sila ng mga $500, $800. Kami, meron nga 1,000 pesos lang yata yun or something like that.
Tuwing summer kasi yun yung whale
Yeah.
watching.
We were able to see it. In 1 hour pa lang, we were able to see whales. But they were a family hindi sila nag-breach. Kasi may mga babies
And sir, you started with Tara Let's Go Asia.
Yes, that was originally the name. Okay, I wanted to start Tara Let's Go Asia, and so it was for the past 2 years. It was the name. It was so funny because then I kept telling my friends from abroad, "Who's Tara?" Kasi kala nila babae si Tara. Sige, anyway, palitan na natin. Experience Philippines na lang.
Kasi from the name, parang may intention ba na to go beyond the Philippines? And initially?
Yes, actually, that's the business model before. It was really intentional to go out of the country. No? In the same way, the Experience Philippines is still the business model. It's also out of the country. We're actually more of a platform now. We're creating this because we're really developing a business model where you can easily replicate and apply it to another country. So that's basically but ang pinipili kong countries, really developing countries. Because tourism is one of the very good ways to really help local communities talaga and
Kasi,
build business.
Ganda ng pangalan kasi akma doon sa
Actually,
tagline ng government niya.
Actually, tumawag sila because we could have actually sued them because we're using our name. We have our name trademarked kasi. So
Parang nauna kayo, no?
nauna
Nauna kayo
2014 pa kami.
Kasi sila, this year lang
So they asked for our official statement because nga they didn't realize. Anyway, the guy who probably did research didn't read the research well because
Kung magandang marketing strategy niya rin yun sir.
hindi rin naman kasi iba kasi walang nakakaintindi sa Experience Philippines as much. Very niche yung market ng ExPh. Super niche because nga not many people, maybe siguro out of the 100 million people or sabihin natin na lang, demographics natin sa Metro Manila lang. Sabihin natin sa 20 million Filipinos in Manila, siguro mga 90%, 80%, or 90 to 99% pa nga eh. I would say there are people who still want to have an itinerary. They're still not risk-takers. Generally, Filipinos are not
So,
risk-takers.
pag sumali kami sa travel niyo, sabihin ko lang yung pangalan ko, magbayad na ako. Ikaw na bahala.
Gana. Yung nga, at saka tatanong, legit ba yan? Actually, may mga, for example, emails kami natatanggap na or messages na tatanggap, pwede ba magbayad na lang on the spot kasi I have trust issue. Sabi ko, actually may trust issue rin kami. Kasi madami kami ginawa nan before yan. We allowed it, and people didn't come. So there's also a cost for us. No? Tsaka ang ginagawa ko, you just go to our website, and you just go to our Facebook page, you just go to all the reviews. You should go online, you'd see all our names everywhere naman. So that already, for me, that's already so we came out in so many magazines. We came out in FHM, I think. And then we came out in Spot, CNN. We have our first international publication, which is Startup Europe. We came out there recently, last September.
Putting this sa business sir, yung discreetly saying, paano yung shell out nito?
Okay, for the business itself, we do well initially siguro that because we're just undergoing phases lang, no? So for asking me in terms of mistakes and failures, I think that was one of the mistakes and failures because we were the first one to ever launch the travel hostel bus in the country. We patented after us. The travel hostel bus is basically a bus.
Patented sir.
Yeah, patented yun.
International or Philippine?
When you patent kasi it's all over the world. Yeah. It's not in just Philippines. We were the only ones who were able to create a hostel na bus. So